Hi, my name's Jill. So my reflection today is about hope and loss, and that is especially for those of us who have lost a loved one in the recent time. In my case, I lost my mum just a few days ago at home. I was really lucky because I was with my mum for a very long time. She was an elderly lady who was quite poorly when she died. She had been through a difficult last few weeks and was very much in turmoil. But in actual fact, when she did die, it was a peaceful end for her, and for that I'm very grateful. I'm first to admit that when I lost my dad more than 20 years ago, I didn't react very well and coped very poorly. And ultimately, I lost my faith, slipped into poor behaviour, and moved away from the things of God. I think lots of us are like that. And so this is a message of hope for those of us who haven't always been with God, haven't really realised God was there for us. So when we were going through Mum's things, we realised that amongst her possessions were a number of spiritual things. And Mum wasn't really much of a churchgoer when she was younger. She went to Sunday school as a child. There was a long gap where she didn't appear to have any particular faith other than going to weddings, funerals and baptisms. Then after we lost my dad, she sort of started to go to church. And over the last few years, before she became really poorly and bed and homebound, she developed much more of a faith. And some of the things that we found were quite surprising. She'd obviously studied the Bible. She'd obviously looked at things and been quite an active member of her local church. And in her bedroom, there was a well-known Christian spiritual poem, which really describes exactly what I mean when they say that there is hope when somebody appears to be lost or is lost or we lose ourselves. It's called Footprints, and it was embroidered by a friend of hers, rather beautifully actually, and I've got that picture now. So I'm going to read that out, and it's just really to give hope for all of us who have lost loved ones who don't really know what's happened to people and don't really know what's happened at the end of their lives. But actually God is with us. God is always with us, whether or not we notice or see him or not. So I'm going to move away and just read this poem. Footprints. One night a man dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. All the scenes of his life floated above the sky. He noticed two sets of footprints, one belonging to him and the other to the Lord. As the last scene passed before him, he recalled that at the saddest and the lowest times there was only one set of footprints. Dismayed, he asked, "Lord, you said that when I decided to follow you, you would always walk with me all the way. Why, at the most troublesome times of my life, the times when I needed you most, would you leave me?" The Lord replied, "My precious child, I love you. I would never leave you. And during your time of trial and suffering, when only one set of footprints were there, that was when I came to you." Amen.